Amy Presher, and I chose to do the board game project. My emphasis area is food and medical packaging. So I chose to recreate the game of Parcheesi, the original edition. And so that's just a picture of what the original one looks like. I drew out the pieces in SolidWorks, and these are just photo renderings of some of them. And then I went to brainstorming, and this is the one that I had the most feedback about, and it's a Clemson football themed one. So I just drew out some ideas for what the board would have on it and the pieces. So then I went in and started creating my pieces in SolidWorks. This is a spec sheet of the dice cup. And so I extruded on the outside of it a Clemson paw, and it says Clemson Tigers, since it's kind of basic, to add more to it. And then I went and painted them all purple. And this is just a regular dice. There's not much to it. I made a cube in SolidWorks and then used the dome feature to sort of make a dome out for each of the little circles. And then the actual playing pieces are footballs. And I have 4 different colors. There's orange, brown, purple, and white. So that just shows you those. And I started doing this, was my first sketch, and then I got frustrated trying to put the laces on a rounded surface. So then I just scratched that and started over and did another one, but then in the end went back to my original and did more work on it and ended up using that one. This is an image of my board, and then it's got the spec sheet. It's about 20 by 20, and it folds in half twice, as you can see in the bottom, so that it makes a square to fit in the box. This is my bill of materials. It's just got one of each piece on it. So there's 4 total dice cups, 16 total football playing pieces, 8 total dice. And then these are my packaging inspirations. For the structure, I wanted to use a square box. I mean, it's pretty basic. You can either do a square or rectangle for a game. And then graphics, I wanted something kind of plain and simple. So this is the base of my box. I used a FEFCO 301. It's really convenient that you can just put the same dimensions in for the base as you do for the lid, and it does it for you. And then on the bottom, I just put the directions for the game. That way, you're not trying to keep up with a piece of paper that gets lost. And here is the lid of my box. It's folded up down in the bottom, and then the one on top shows you the side panels. I left the ones on the sides blank just for simplicity. I thought it had enough on it already. And then it's got a barcode and a logo of the company on the back with a list of what's included in the game. And then on the front panel, I did the name of the game and then the seal of Clemson. That way you can see what the game is if it's sitting on a shelf. And then we had to do a tray insert. So on the left is one of the sheets I ran. So I went in Artios CAD and drew out my insert and then just duplicated it a number of times so that it's easy to cut out. And then I had to have graphics on one, and I wanted to have a tray that could fit all of my pieces, but I didn't want the dice to be in a huge hole. So I made a different cutout. So I ran 2, and so it shows you one on the left and then the other one on the right that has the extra space for the dice. And then I put graphics on the top layer. So then I cut them out and glued them all together, which took forever. And so these are pictures of the finished ones. The one on the left is actually in the box, and the other one just shows you how thick it is. And then my secondary packaging is pretty plain. Used FEFCO 201, and it can fit 10 primary packages in it. This is the assembly, just showing you the primary packaging, the lid, and the base going in to the secondary. And then my cake pack data. Had a little bit of problems with this one, so it doesn't show my primary packaging on it, but it's got the secondary boxes that go on there. And actually on the pallet, it shows one layer of boxes, but if you look over on the truck, it actually shows that there's 2 stacks for each palette. So it comes up to be like a total of 42 pallets, which gives me a total of like 8,400 games in a truck. And so the total was 92.1% used of the truck. So this is just a picture of the finished product after I had gone through and painted all of the pieces. And then just the parts of the box and the board. And you can see the pieces in the tray. So my favorite part of the class would be learning the new software and then actually seeing the finished product and having that. What I struggle with the most would be learning the material in such a short amount of time because I was brand new to all of it, kind of overwhelming. And then which type of files can be moved into the different programs and going back and forth with all of that really confused me. And then not having SolidWorks and RDOS CAD on my computer to work with at home. It's kind of a frustration. What I found the most interesting to learn was SolidWorks, but it was not fun to learn. So what I liked to learn was the Photoshop and Illustrator. And yes, I do feel more prepared for packaging design. So I was brand new to all of it, so I learned a lot. But I could have benefited by taking it in a regular semester. That way I had more time to learn it and let it sink in and everything. And yes, it's definitely benefited my education. I can use SolidWorks and CapePack and RDOS in other packaging classes, and then Photoshop and Illustrator in other classes as well as in like my personal life, just whatever I wanted to do with it. So that's it.